Hey Xtreme Clippers, welcome to today's DIY video. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make your own custom bulletin board. This is something that you can do with your friends, family, or even by yourself. And the best part is that it's simple, easy, and it can be done on a budget of less than $20. So without further ado, let's get started showing you how you can make your own custom bulletin board. Okay, so to start our DIY project, you're going to need a piece of cork board or insulation board, which I'm using today. This size of cork board will run you about $7 at your local hardware store. So for the base of your board, you're going to want to use cork board or insulation board. I chose to use insulation board because it was so much cheaper. I was able to get a big wall-size sheet for less than $20, which would allow me to make more than 5 different boards of different sizes. You're also going to need a staple gun and staples. This together is about $11 as well at your local hardware store. You're going to pick a piece of fabric of your choice. Make sure you pick one that self-heals or will conceal holes. You don't want anything like satin that's going to shred on your project. And I'm using about 1.5 yards worth of fabric, which is about $4 at your local fabric store. I'm using some fabric scissors, which you can easily get for about $2 to $3, and some leveling hangers that were $3 at my local hardware store. So in total, this DIY project is going to run you about $30 or less. But keep in mind, you can save even more money by using alternatives like hot glue instead of a staple gun, or asking for scrap pieces at your local hardware store, or even for your fabric if you use something that you already have, or a different material will cost you less. So spread out your fabric, and you're going to want to find the edge of your fabric just so that way you save a little bit more and you can repurpose it for another board or another project. So smooth out your fabric as much as possible. Go ahead and grab your cork board, and you're going to want to put it on the fabric. Now pull it a little bit just to make sure it's going to cover all of your edges. And here I don't really have enough fabric, so I'm going to have to scoot it. I'm going to turn my fabric a little bit more because I didn't have enough to cover on one side because it was cut uneven. So if I go like this, that works out perfectly. And you see here we still have a bunch of extra fabric that we can save for another project. So I'm going to start by pulling my fabric onto the board. So now we're going to cut off this excess fabric to get it out of the way so we can start our board. So give yourself at least a 2-inch seam on the board. That way you don't cut it too short and lose that fabric. So you're going to just cut it straight down. Try and cut as much as possible in a straight line. And we're just going to move this fabric to the side. And now we can start our stretching. So we have our board in the center of our fabric. We're going to stretch, and let's start to pull the fabric over. You're going to just want to wrap it kind of like you would wrap a little present. And make sure your seams are nice and neat. And then we can start with our staples. Make sure you get the seams to hold it all into place, and that is pulled tight. So that way you don't see any wrinkles. And don't worry about the back if it's not the neatest, because it will not be seen. So as you can see, you see a few wrinkles, jersey wrinkles very easily. Don't worry, get an iron on low heat and you can iron out the wrinkles. Just make sure you press it very lightly. And then we're going to go ahead and flip it back over so we can attach our hooks. So you're going to get your leveling hangers. And for this project, you'll need about 2 of them. Make sure you have the teeth pointing downward when you attach it to your board. And now you're going to get your little nails and press them into place. So you can use something flat just to help you force it down into the board. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and we see our hooks are level. And just to reinforce it a little bit more, you can use your staple gun to just keep those in place. And our board is now complete. We have our hooks on the back. You see the back is just very simple. And our board is complete. Okay, so a really great thing about this project is that it's very simple and it's something that you can do with your family and customize it however you want. You can choose the size of the board that you want, the type of board, what color and pattern of fabric, and the best part is that you can customize it. So add a little flair by adding some ribbon or even some hooks. So for my board, I plan to spice it up and I'm just gonna do something very simple. This ribbon was $1 at Michael's. And I'm just going to add a little ribbon to the corner. So you can spice up your board by adding some simple ribbon. I got this, it's 3 yards of ribbon and I got it for $1 at Michael's. Okay, another way you can spice it up is by adding some simple hooks. This pack of hooks was less than $2 at my local hardware store. So I'm gonna get some ribbon, measure it out because I just want to cover up the corner. So about to there, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Now you can secure this in place the same way. Actually, let me go ahead and cut 2 pieces because I'm going to put one on the other side. Easy way to make sure your ribbons are even is just to pair them up and cut them together. So now I have 2 pieces of ribbon. So you're going to take one here and then you can also measure it so that way you know how far from the corner you want it. So mine is going to be, and make sure you get right to the center. So I'm going to do 5 inches from the center of the corner. And this will just make sure that it stays in place. Okay, so you see in our corner we have our decorative ribbon. And you're just going to repeat the same steps on the other side. And ta-da, your board is complete. And now is when you can add any special hooks or any other items that you would want to spice up your board even more. One of the great things about using insulation board is that it gives you that same effect as the cork board, but it's going to be a little bit more durable. So to demonstrate, I'm just going to use a scrap piece of ribbon and a regular push pin. Put your ribbon in, and you're going to push it into place, and ta-da! There's your bulletin board. A few great things about this DIY project is that you can use it as a family bonding project. You can use it to display pictures, or you can simply use it to add a little spice of color to your room. Thank you for watching this DIY video. If you make one at home, be sure to send me a picture. That way I can see how you customized your board and made it your own. If you have any other ideas for DIY projects, be sure to leave them in the comment section below or send them to me in my email at darelovecoupons.ca@gmail.com. And thank you all so much for watching. Hey Xtreme Clippers, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this lifestyle video here on Life with Dare Loves Coupons. A new video will be up every Friday, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you never miss a video, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye Xtreme Clippers!